Good evening and welcome to Greater Somerville for March 6, 2012. I'm Joe Lynch.
And I'm KyAnn Anderson.
And guess what we're going to talk about?
I don't know.
Those letters mysteriously appeared behind us.
Joe's all about subtlety.
There you go.
Well, you have something you want to talk about up front.
There was nothing subtle about Sunday at the TEDx Somerville event.
There was not. But
which was a terrific event. But we have some other things.
We have some other things we want to talk about.
What do you want to talk about?
Well, you brought it up.
Okay. Service cuts and fare hikes for MBTA. Those comments into the MBTA, you can now get them in this week. They're extended the deadline until March 12th, which is Monday.
Yeah.
So this coming Monday, please get your comments in. Tell them that the service cuts and the bus route cuts and everything else that you disagree with are not to be tolerated here. Fare hikes, you know, it's up to you guys. You can fight it. Send in your comments, and hopefully they will take them into consideration.
And we have a special this week. You get 2 episodes of Greater Somerville, just when you thought you couldn't get enough.
That's right. We did have to do a pre-taping, and it was a special concerning the service cuts and the fare hikes with State Representative Denise Provo, who is fighting like mad to keep those under control for the residents and the businesses here in Somerville. So tomorrow night, Lowell Street T-Stop. Green Ball Square T-Stop for the Green Line.
No, sorry. It's Lowell Street and Gilman.
Lowell Street and Gilman Square T-Stops, proposed T-Stops. The public hearing will be tomorrow night up at the high school, 6 till 8 p.m. Be there. This week in the Somerville Journal, the mayor is proposing a new local jobs creation commission. They're going to be talking about how to get businesses to locate here in Somerville, how to match up our residents with those new businesses coming in, and vice versa. People who are already, working outside of the city.
Yeah, it's a great initiative.
How do we get more business initiative here in the city? So I think it's great. That's going to be in the Somerville Journal, a special at the Somerville Journal on Thursday. And don't forget, on Sunday, Daylight Savings Time.
Oh, is it really?
Spring forward.
Oh, that's exciting.
Spring forward. I think we've dodged the bullet this winter.
I think we did.
I'm keeping my fingers crossed.
My tulips are coming up in my yard. I'm kind of excited about that.
Well, it's Murphy's Law, or in my case, it's Lynch's Law, that for the first time since coming back to the city, I actually have a snowblower.
Yeah.
Used it once.
That's okay.
Used it once.
That's why you buy it. You buy it so then the snow doesn't come.
We had an exciting Sunday.
We had a great Sunday.
We had a very exciting Sunday. KyAnn was a member of the planning and
the program director.
Program director for TEDx Somerville.
Yep.
So we had a show a few weeks ago with a gentleman named C. Todd Lombardo, who is the executive director for TEDx Somerville.
Yep.
And KyAnn and her team, the TEDx team, put on quite a spectacular show on Sunday at Arts at the Armory. I was privileged that they asked me to be one of the co-hosts. The mayor opened it. KyAnn, myself, and C. Todd Lombardo were the co-hosts for a day-long event here at Somerville. And I got to tell you, I said this to C. Todd, and I said it to you and some other people. I hope you guys do it again next year.
Well, that's the plan.
Yep.
That's the plan. Because we actually have fiscal sponsorship provided by SCAT right here at SCAT. They're very generous.
Media partner.
Letting us go forward, and then our hope is to do this on a yearly basis, where then we become a 501c3 organization. That is the plan. That's what's 2009 was when Boston started, and Cambridge, and now Somerville. And they're kind of really, that's what we're really hoping. I don't want to actually say that nor commit to that.
You just did on film, kiddo.
No, I did not. Well, I can edit that out. Who's editing this program anyway?
You can't edit
I can edit that. Yes, I can. So anyway, but yeah, I think it was a wonderful event. And I'd have to say, as I was driving over here, because we'd agreed to do this show topic, because, it's, ideas worth spreading. But I was thinking to myself, when we had C. Todd on, I think you will admit that you weren't really sure what was going on with the TEDx.
No, I was familiar with what TED Talks are.
Yeah.
But I wasn't quite sure how this TEDx Somerville thing was fitting into the whole...
And how it was going to play out.
Right.
And I think that's the ironic thing is that I found myself, so this was an all-day marathon Saturday. Then we had the after party at the saloon, which they were very gracious, the saloon they offered in Davis Square. And then What did we do? Oh, and then I woke up the next morning. I was absolutely exhausted from the weekend of
it's
just
a lot of
activity.
energy that went into it.
But I still was thinking about it,
Sure.
And hence the ideas were spreading. I was like, well, there you go, folks, because you're thinking about what was said. We caught a lot of it backstage, but we didn't cut all the talks.
So let's backtrack a little bit.
Okay.
TEDx, these TED Talks, I'm sure some people have seen them before. These TED Talks are people who have an idea and want to talk about their idea.
Ideas worth spreading.
Ideas worth spreading, these mantras we have to use. I don't have to use them, but they are ideas worth spreading. So anything, sky's the limit on this thing. But the way that the organization works is you kind of submit yourself to an audition or your idea, and then the organizers of the event will say, yeah, we really think that's something that the community that we're going to have the event in is interested in.
Well, you pick a theme, right?
A theme.
Creative economy, sustainable community. That was our
So they
theme.
will come in and they will give a talk, and some of those talks run for 6 minutes. Other talks ran for 15 minutes.
Yep.
They are multimedia. Some people had film clips, recorded film clips. Some people just had slides. Some people had nothing at all. They just talked for their allotted time. And I have to tell you, from my standpoint, I kind of envisioned this kind of motivational speaker kind of forum, but that's not what it was about at all. So
well, I mean,
I would say that if you're still confused about what TED is and TEDx is, go on to the TED site and look at it and see if you can wrap your head around what this organization is about.
Yeah, well, there's a 4-minute video on our website, www.tedxsomerville.org, and that kind of gives you a glimpse of it. Now, the videos that we took on Sunday.
Here in Somerville.
Correct.
Yeah.
Powder House, John Neely Productions, they were in-kind donations. They worked their butts off and really did an amazing job, and they videotaped all the speakers.
Yeah.
And then what they do is they put that all together, they produce those, and then those videos then go up onto the internet, and then the TED people from the big TED people will then decide of those speakers if they pull one of those and put it on a national and kind of global front. So
if you liken it, no offense to the TED people, Somerville's got talent.
Yeah, and I think that's what it really was.
It wasn't a talent program, but it's about people who have ideas that want to kind of impart those ideas to other people.
And I think what I was the most impressed with, CTOD gets a lot of the credit for the curation of the speakers. I mean, hands down, he did so much work, and he should be very proud of that. I think that there were so many people that were Somervillians. There were some that were not Somervillians. Some were in Cambridge, but we'll let them slip in. I think that was.
But there was a Somerville connection.
Absolutely.
For everything.
And you walked away from it just in general, not just the speakers, just in the overall feel, the vibe of the music selection.
Somebody said to me, was this kind of like a kumbaya hand-holding thing? Not at all.
No, it wasn't.
Not at all. This was a selection of people that I think no matter what age group, no matter what demographic you come from, I think there was something for everybody throughout the entire day.
And I think if you looked at the people at the end, and this was what was interesting, because I myself had my feet hurt because we were running around backstage. And
that's because you didn't wear comfortable shoes.
Well, you know what, Joe? Sometimes fashion goes over function. But anyway, that being said, I think that towards the end I was concerned because it was such a long day. I thought people were going to kind of trickle out, and they did at times. But it just kind of swelled, and then it went down. And then at the end, there were still people so engaged, going on 7-8 hours.
Right.
They had to say something on the content.
Right.
And then there were a lot of people that showed up.
The media has been reviewing the event. There were a lot of media people there. There were bloggers there. There were internet, folks.
The Assembly Row Blogger Lounge.
The Assembly Row Blogger Lounge.
There
were a lot of
Cafe.
people up there who were just looking at this event going, we've never done anything like this in Somerville before.
Yeah.
We've never seen anything like this in Somerville before.
Yeah.
Arts at the Armory lent itself, perfect venue.
Yes.
Perfect
and
venue for it.
they were very accommodating.
Although I will have to say once again that the city really needs to pay attention to some of the disabled access issues.
Yeah.
They need to do that.
Yeah.
Because that Arts at the Armory is too valuable a venue for the city to have that as a black mark on it.
Now, here's
so
a
that's
question.
my own personal
Now,
opinion.
let us get into that, because that was something that someone quickly commented on one of the Boston.com articles.
Sure.
What was it? Was the ramp is not ADA
Yeah,
compliant?
the outside ramp that leads into the Arts at the Armory
It's too steep.
is out of compliance with what ADA requires. So, however it was grandfathered in, I'm not going to get into the politics of
Okay.
it. I would just say when you start bringing in national organizations, internationally known
Yeah.
organizations, the city of Somerville, for all of its marketing and its, we're better than you are, we're grittier than you are, we're sexier than you are, you got to pay attention to that issue. I'm not going to get up on the soapbox, but let's go back to the speakers.
Yes.
We had some brilliant Somerville
We did.
speakers.
We did.
Some of those speaking.
And can we just? I'm sorry, I'm going to
Go
interrupt you
ahead.
for just a second.
You
What
always do.
what
She
I
always
will say
interrupts me.
is, I think all the speakers were phenomenal. So, I mean, we have our little cheat sheets in the back, but I don't want to sing. I mean, let's just say that in general, I was overly impressed. So,
I was very
if we throw out one or the other, like this isn't a critique. It's just
We're not
let's
saying
discussion.
that some were better than others,
Yes.
but it's our show, Greater Somerville, so
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
focusing
We
on
have control.
Somerville people who spoke.
Yeah.
You
We
know,
had a
we-
script on Sunday, but today we don't have a script. We can just say whatever
That's
we want.
right. We had to be careful on Sunday because we
Yes,
had guests.
We did. Yes, we did.
Right, and tonight we have no guests.
No, we don't.
And we can say what we want.
This is true. Let's
but
talk
I
about
have
the
to I have to tell you, I mean, it was terrific for me to see Somerville people at a big event like that
Yeah.
with their creative ideas. Ezra Glenn, who I've known
Yes.
for many years, he was the former director of planning here in the city. He's now over at MIT. He's
Yep.
a published author. Ezra Glenn up on the big stage talking at a TED Talk
Interactive Somerville.
was like, I know him.
Yeah.
Wig
that was great.
Zamor was up there.
Wig
Alex
was great.
Feldman, who is a performer.
Joe Grafton.
Joe Grafton from Somerville.
He did a great job.
Somerville Local First. But Alex Feldman, I didn't know this when I was talking to Alex backstage. He had just gotten back from Las Vegas.
Oh, really?
He was performing out in Vegas, and he came back for the TED Talk.
Well,
I mean, it was amazing.
No, but you know what they had said, and this goes into the music. Again, all these, Marcus Santos and Grooversity. Like
Grooversity,
that?
yeah.
It
Yeah.
was such a good energy. Like that gentleman, it was so, and the kids, they were so.
Yeah,
like,
we should tell the audience, though, this wasn't strictly people talking. There was entertainment.
There was entertainment. There was art on display
Yep,
everywhere. Kim did an amazing job curating that. I think, but there was 4 sessions. The one thing I will say, and we as a team discussed this, although we kind of haven't talked to each other because I feel like they've
She's
just.
talking about her team. I wasn't part of it.
Yeah, I know, but I
was
just-
I
you
was
spend-
just the pretty face up on
Yeah,
stage.
I know. Well, you got to be something,
There you go.
But when you have this big team and you spend so much time with them in the last few weeks, we've just kind of been a little bit out of touch, which is great. But one of the things we did notice, I think the 4 sessions was a little lengthy. It almost was.
It's a long day.
Yeah, I know. So we almost
Very
think,
long day.
next year it's going to be 3. So
I think if you had open bar from 3 to 5, you would have had a better time.
Well, look
so.
what happened at the. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, the after party.
was
The
fun.
after party was at a place called Saloon.
Yeah.
And I have to give a shout out that Saloon has its official opening, I think, this week.
Oh, is it really?
So we were kind of like
There's a fundraiser tonight for
the hordes of barbarians that came in on Sunday night.
Yeah.
That was kind of like breaking it in because
We
I
broke it
think
in.
we broke it in. It's.
I walked in the door and I
in
got a
Davis
beer
Square-
handed
it's
to me. I mean, that's
in
pretty
Davis
amazing.
Square,
In the basement.
underneath Foundry.
Where Jimmy Tingles.
Where
used to
Jimmy
be.
Tingle's theater was, and that is owned by the same folks who own the Independent restaurant right here
Yeah.
in Union Square. Kudos and thank you to the Independent for lending me some furniture for a taping on this Friday. So
What?
I needed bar height tables
Oh, okay.
for something I'm doing on Friday, and they were gracious enough. So promotional consideration provided
Yeah,
by
no,
the
that's
Independent
nice.
restaurant.
That's nice.
But that was a great venue to have it in.
Well,
Down in Davis
I think
Square.
it was. Saloon, yeah, of
Yeah.
course. I mean, I think that was. Again, so many people that showed up,
Yep.
and there were a lot of the speakers that were there, so you could, interact with them and, continue talking about it. I just think, again, everyone just walked away. with a
Great
feeling.
support locally. Great support from vendors. Mm-hmm. Great support from the arts community. Great support
Yeah.
from the political community.
Yes, there were a lot of politicians that showed up.
Great
there. Thankful
support
for that.
from not-for-profit organizations.
Yeah, we had the community cafe that was in the area where they have the cafe now, and the mayor came from 9 to 10. We had Java with Joe, and then we had 5 actually make that 6 various tables.
Yep.
It was the Next Step Living Community Cafe, because they sponsored a very generous partner, and we had Hubway was there debuting the bicycles that are coming to Somerville in the spring of 2012.
Yep.
Hubway Bike Share, the Welcome Project, we had STEP, we had Groundwork Somerville. I mean, really,
These are all
the city of Somerville was there.
homegrown, local grassroots organizations that advocate for their different constituency groups. I mean, people who care about transportation, people who care about the environment here in Somerville, people who care about politics, people who care about... I mean, it just ran the gamut.
Yeah,
you know?
and then it was great because people would linger, because people got sick of being in the main auditorium. So in the cafe, we had a live stream plasma screen.
Yep.
And, you know, you could see exactly what was going on.
But every time I got up on stage, they would flood back into the main performance area.
This is great.
Did you notice that? When you were up there,
Joe packed them in.
They were kind of out on the sidewalk in front of the Armory, and then when I came up, they came back up to the stage.
The flood was there.
It was amazing, totally amazing.
You know what was, this is again another thing, the number of people it involved to get that done.
Yeah.
Like on Saturday, we have there's a little video online of our prep, and it was amazing. Everybody, busy little bees, and everybody had exactly.
I was just over, talking about the Independent, I was just across the street.
Did you have a beer?
No, I did not.
Can I smell your breath?
I was just across the street talking to the manager over there, and I happened to see some folks having dinner at the Independent that I know, and I asked them, you know, did you make it to TED? Commitments, no, they did not. But they asked me, they said, well, what was the most that impressed you during the day? And I have to say, I don't want to single out any one of the speakers.
Okay.
So the most impressive part of the day for me was this massive event with 400 people in attendance going off like clockwork.
Yeah,
There were
we really didn't
very minor technical glitches.
Yeah.
But they were all worked out.
Yeah,
smoothly.
we had some. Ross Law, I remember that his video didn't
Because
work.
this thing
Ross.
was filmed
He was
top
excellent.
to bottom. Everybody had audio visual aids that they had to have hooked up.
It was a little chaotic backstage, but you just didn't see that.
It was slightly, because you kept complaining about your feet.
Well, I forgot. No, actually, you know what it was? I was so engaged. I was out in the audience, and Rebecca Gortz, she'd just come in, so we were sitting there chatting. And then I'm sitting there watching the speakers, and they were just it was a good session 3, and they were all good. And all of a sudden I realized, I thought, oh crap. Someone got up there, and I thought, oh, I was supposed to introduce that person. So I kind of got in trouble. Because I was caught snoozing on the sidelines, because
totally
again, it was very exciting and interesting.
You know, KyAnn likes to make fun that I carry around a stone tablet and a chisel in order to communicate with people. But also what amazed me was that, there were people who are of all age groups. I mean, this wasn't strictly the 30-something crowd who's engaged in social networking and stuff. It did. From one age group to the other. A lot of
diversity. It was a lot of diversity.
A lot of savvy people doing their blogging, doing their tweeting, doing whatever they do. And it was just an amazing atmosphere. Yeah. To watch how people were engaging with each other during the breaks. Somebody said to me, I won't say who it was, but they said, we haven't seen 60% of these people before. I said, you know what?
I said the same thing.
They live in Somerville, but they may not be so politically engaged at the local level.
Yep.
But they are.
Of course, we had Ron Newman was there, dancing it up. Yeah. That was great.
I just think it was, if you were ever looking for a cast of characters for a movie about urban social change, that was the place to film it. That was the place to film it. Speaking of politics, we forgot to mention, if you haven't voted today, folks, today is primary day.
It is.
I know that the selections are limited, but you got 10 minutes to get out there and vote, because polls close at 8 o'clock.
Wow. Yeah, I forgot about that. I've been so...
Democratic, Republican, Green Party, Working Party, I mean, all those ballots are out there for your picking, so I don't know. Get out there. You got 10 minutes. Yeah. You can make from one end of the city to the next in 10 minutes. So get out there.
On a bicycle, yeah.
But I think, from the press reviews that have been coming in, the personal comments that people are making about the event, Somerville Patch, Somerville Scout, Somerville Voices, the Boston Globe.
Boston Globe.
They've all reviewed this event, and I haven't found anybody who's saying, what a waste.
Oh, God.
They are all saying...
Don't tell me if you do.
This is the type of event that, even if you don't want to stay for the entire day, now it's a long day, as KyAnn said. It runs from 10 o'clock in the morning until 6:30 at night.
Yep.
So if you don't want to be there for the entire event, you take a look at the list of speakers who are coming in, and you can come in for that session only.
Yeah, no, you could do that. And a lot of people came in for the lunch. We had a wonderful spread put on, East Somerville Main Streets. We did a little medley, a taste of East Somerville, and we did 3 restaurants.
I know we're not supposed to do this, but I was so glad Vinny's was there.
Of course.
Yeah.
Vinny's was great.
Yeah, Vinny's from Lower Broadway.
Vinny's, Fasica, and Taco Loco.
Taco
we had a
Loco.
good spread.
And your new favorite place, supplied a lot.
3 Little Figs.
3 Little Figs.
My favorite
up
coffee
on Highland
place.
Avenue at the top of Cedar Street.
They were great.
Yeah.
Great coffee. Somebody actually who claimed to be a coffee snob was even made mention of how good the coffee was.
Yeah, one of the owners tagged me when you introduced me, and he was trying to get me to tell him where the Nicaraguan coffee came from, but I can't.
Yeah.
Because customs will probably call me in the morning. But
yeah.
Speaking of the speakers, I just want to give a shout out to the Somerville people who did participate in this whole thing. You had people. Lenny Armstrong and
she was excellent. Makes me
Ray
want to rip up my driveway.
Ray Matsumaya from the Middle East University of the Middle East. Joe Grafton,
Ross
Lore.
Mm-hmm.
Ross Lore. I know we weren't going to do this, but I got to tell you, this kid's talk impressed me greatly.
Yeah.
About.
I bought one of his bags. Did you buy one of his bags?
I haven't.
I'm very excited. And
let me give him a shout out. Project Repats.
Yes.
Project Repats. Go on the internet. I'm not going to say anymore. Go on the internet. Look at this guy's website about what his product is all about, and it will blow you away.
Yeah.
Clarence Smith. Loved
that was
his
at
talk.
Barbershop. That was excellent.
Daniel Hadley from the city of Somerville.
The happiness.
Our happiness guru.
The East Somerville people are more happy.
East Somerville are more happy, which goes to show you that I should stop complaining up in Magoon Square because we were at the bottom
Joe,
of the
I don't think
barrel.
that's possible.
Alex Feldman, kudos to you, Alex.
Yeah.
I thought it was brilliant. Wig Zamor.
Yep.
Let me see. Who else was in there? Ezra Glenn, my friend Ezra Glenn. So many, oftentimes I think, KyAnn, the city of Somerville sells itself short.
What?
Because of its reputation.
Well, I think they're shattering that, though.
We have that lousy reputation from 40 years ago, 30 years ago, and quite frankly, and I agree with it. The city has these folks that they talk to every now and then and say, "Here's what we're trying to make Somerville be," and it's called branding. You have to brand what the city is all about. And sometimes they use words that are derogatory. And I think, my speech to the city of Somerville and to the rest of the citizens out there is forbid ever using that term, Slummerville.
Yeah.
Just don't use it anymore because,
I'd agree.
It doesn't help us. So.
One other thing I'm going to... It's Janae Halstead, the musical
Halstead, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I wish she would have had CDs at the thing. I was just asking everybody. She's an incredible voice, and the energy of all the other acts, the unique. Really.
We also have to give a shout out, though. I kind of feel bad that I chastised the arts at the Armory a little bit about the HP access or the handicap ADA access. The staff at the arts at the Armory were unbelievable.
They were there so late on Saturday.
And a lot of those folks are volunteers.
Yeah.
They're volunteers up there. They were there from, they were there when I got there.
Yeah.
And they were still cleaning up, I would suspect, at 9:30, 10 o'clock at night.
No, that was really nice. We had our team, Gene, our logistics operations, and Gene and Tuck, and they did such a phenomenal job. Our entire team,
Yeah.
I think. Just check out the website. I'm not trying to, obviously I am connected to it, but...
It was a great event, and you know how cynical I am about stuff like this.
Well, I know, and that's why I thought us having a recap, not only because these letters are hanging out in my basement now, and, they serve as a good prop to the show, but, it really is...
I do have to give you one funny anecdote about an older person in the neighborhood who asked me...
What I was shaking.
After they saw these things come out about TEDx, asked me if I was now working for a delivery service, meaning FedEx. And I didn't want to laugh. I didn't want to chuckle. I said, no, it's something completely different.
Yeah.
Overall, I think you guys did a brilliant job.
Thank you. And I think the ideas should keep spreading.
It should definitely be done again in the city of Somerville.
Yeah, it's just a matter of finding the right venue, and there's a lot that goes into this. And like I said, kudos to everybody who helped us and volunteered and donated, and a lot of the restaurants, all that. What I would say is, though, if there are things, I'm totally one to be open to criticism, and I think that that's how you get better. So I would encourage people to write in, go to our website, TEDxSomerville.org, and just give us a few comments. I think you gave me a couple comments. I mean, you're never shy in offering up your opinion.
No, I think for all these organizers, they should take all of the praise. And I said this to the executive director of TEDx Somerville. I said, take all of the praise, put it in a box, and treasure it, because they really did do a good job. Take all of the constructive criticism and the destructive criticism, put that in another box, and deal with it next week.
Yeah.
I mean, enjoy your week. That this was the first time you put on the
relishing
event,
in it.
and it was great.
Well, it's a good week for me.
Yeah. But, seriously, for those of you who attended it, and you have some comments that you want to send to the TEDx Somerville team, go on to the website. They're going to be taking comments from everybody.
And I believe on our website it's actually going to show when the videos as well as the photography. We were offered, in-kind photography was offered to us. I apologize, I don't know the name, but that was really wonderful.
Can you do me one favor, though?
No.
Lose all of the still photography of me at Saloon after the after party.
Oh, I don't know if I can do that.
Yeah, well,
I don't know if I can edit that out, because
we're coming up on time. What else have we got?
That's it. I thank everyone for participating, and I hope people watch the videos, because again, just keep on talking about it. How much long do we have?
So, I think we got probably about 30 seconds to a minute here, but I do want to mention that one more time that the State Representative Denise Provo was very good about coming in and doing a special Greater Somerville for us. Talking about the MBTA service cuts and fare hikes. That's going to be playing until Monday, this coming Monday, the 12th.
It's a very important video.
So please watch it. All the information about who to submit your comments to at the MBTA is on that video. We're also, if I can impose on you, put that up on Greater Somerville's
I suppose,
website.
Joe.
I think we're coming to the close.
Yep.
For all of you who have supported Greater Somerville and supported KyAnn and her team at TEDx Somerville, thank you very much.
Good night.
Good night. Stay safe. Stay informed. We'll see you next week.